Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to my channel, Tarot by Bronx. This is Tarot Talk. These are Tarot Things, and I'm your host, Boogie Down Bronx, and I'm here to take care of the cancers. Cancers, if you're new to the channel, welcome. This reading can resonate for you if you have Cancer as a Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, or South Node sign. Quick shout out to my Patreon. This video was released early access on Patreon. So if you're waiting for your sign or you want to see your sign, sometimes I will release it early access on Patreon. With that being said, I want to have make a short announcement. I've been saying this at the beginning of my videos, the last 3 videos, but because I see people keep rushing me to put out the videos. So what you can do, again, you can subscribe to my Patreon where I have early access content if you want to see your sign earlier than when I release it. Sometimes it's on there, but I do not do YouTube full time anymore. I release content maybe like 3 times a week, and if I put anything else on YouTube is on Patreon early access first, or I do exclusive readings on Patreon. So just be patient, watch for your sign. I got all these placements so you can watch any for those, all right, in the meantime while you're waiting on the video you want to see, because these are timeless. They're not based on the month anymore. So you can go back and watch it whenever, and it could still resonate for you. All right, so I got other stuff I'm working on. Patreon, I do Twitter messages, I got my spiritual shop right here, tarotbybronx.com/shop. So I'm working on other things, y'all. So be patient, please. All right, that's it. So let's get into your reading. I got your spread, your pre-shuffle here. So we're going to flip over these cards and see what you need to release, what signs you're going to be receiving. Oh. Who else had this card? I think it was Aries. If you have Aries placements, it's definitely for you. Cancer and Aries, like their readings always are similar, or it's like I see both of y'all are very drawn to each other. You have surrender to setting limits. It is healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs and remember that no is a complete sentence. All right. And then you have deep, intimate connection, 222. And then you have ancestors displeased. Uh-oh. Okay, so the ancestors are not happy. Why is that? Why is that? Some of you are not setting enough boundaries in your relationships. And you have this card, belt, punish, and then you have red, passion, anger, and courage. Some of you need to be either have more discipline, or you're punishing yourself for something. And maybe this is why your ancestors are displeased. They don't want you to punish yourself for something or for not doing something. Okay, they want you to learn from that and set boundaries instead, and be more assertive. For some of you, you are allowing the emotions of a connection to override your boundaries, or you're allowing somebody to overstep, because you have a very deep connection with them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if somebody's your soulmate, twin flame, whoever. All right, you still need to have the limits. Every relationship needs healthy boundaries. You shouldn't always be saying yes every single time to everything if you don't want to. Okay, so instead you may feel like you may end up getting mad at yourself, punishing yourself because you weren't as assertive as you should have been, and your ancestors don't want you to be beating yourself up, but they also don't want you to put your boundaries aside either. So that could be why they're upset. They love you, your guides, your angels, your ancestors, but you could be disappointing them by something you're doing or not doing. All right, so let's look more into this with my everything deck. What does Cancer really need to be setting limits in regards to? What does Cancer's Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North and South Node need to be setting ancestors? Again, something in regards to your ancestors here is coming up very strongly. What is this? Tell me more for what Cancers need to be setting limits. Fight for this. Communication. Angels, spirit guides. I'm confused. This reading is really confusing me. Tell me more. Can you give me some more clarity in regards to setting limits here? And what Cancers? Okay, I hear it now. I heard it. I got you. All right, let's see. Anything else for Cancers? So yeah, y'all angels are really communicating with you hard. Okay. Cancers, listen to me. Why you have the ancestors displeased card is because your angels are trying to talk to you. They're giving you signs. They're trying to show you things. Okay, you have 2 cards here, angels, ancestors, spirit guides, all of it here. And they feel like you're not listening. Okay, you have communication. They're giving you the signs. You could be asking for the signs. You're like, can I get a sign? You get the sign. You're like, I don't like that sign. Okay, I can't read this sign. And some of you are, you know, you're showing this. You're getting shown the signs that either there's something that you should be fighting for. There's something that you should be trying to overcome, trying to work through, trying to process, instead of self-sabotage and punishing yourself. Okay, you know, the shadow side of Cancer is, you know, victimizing, and it's emotional manipulation. Every sign has a shadow side, okay? So, you know, don't get offended. But, you know, you could have a tendency of self-sabotage, of punishing yourself when things are not going right, when things are going wrong. And this is, you know, displeasing to your ancestors. They're trying to show you the way. They're trying to show you that things are going to work out. It will work out. But for some of you, it's like maybe you need to be stronger at setting limits, at saying no, at fighting for things instead of just giving up too easily. Especially if this is in regards to moving, or you're changing households, you're moving, you're trying to move out, you're trying to get your own sense of security established here, or you have single. For some of you, you want to be single, or you know, there's something in regards to your relationship status that you're trying to protect, but you have protection heavily around you. All right, heavily around you, and you have your angels, your ancestors. They're trying to show you signs. They're trying to communicate with you, but for some reason you're not listening, or you're not taking it seriously. What is this in regards to specifically that the angels are trying to communicate with Cancer? And then we'll look at the tarot. What is it that the angels are trying to communicate with Cancer specifically that they're not listening? Oh my gosh, that was like 17 cards. Tell me more. What is this in regards to Cancer that they're not listening to? The truth will come out. Okay. Anything else for Cancer? What they're not listening to? Let's get one more card, and then we'll go into the tarot. One more. Manifest. Okay. Yeah, some of you could be doubting your own manifestation skills. You're doubting your abilities here. Okay, you have name starts with a C, V, W, or Y. This could be your name or letters in somebody's name here. But you have manifest and you have celebrate / party. Okay. So some of you are doubting your manifestation abilities, or you're doubting that something can manifest for you, and you know, you're really giving yourself a hard time. Whatever this is in regards to, it's like you're not seeing the progress that's being made, or you're not seeing that you're being protected. And also, just piggybacking off of that, angels do not communicate in the ways that humans communicate, because it's a different type of spiritual connection. I was talking about this on my Patreon. This is a little, you know, we're going to the sidebar for a second because I think this is important. How it's a new language, okay? Ancestor communication, angel communication, communicating with the spiritual world. It's a new language to be learned. So for some of you, you might just throw up your hands and be like, I don't know what I'm hearing. I don't know. Nobody's talking to me. Nobody's saying anything. Sometimes you have to stop talking and just listen, okay? And stop asking and really listen to what you're being shown. Look for, like, not look, but, you know, be present and receptive to any type of signs. We're really quick as, like, you know, humans to write things off as coincidence, like everything is a coincidence, or maybe I'm just making it up in my head. Those are the moments where spirit is trying to communicate with you the most. Okay, so they want you to really be more receptive to the ways that they communicate, through dreams, through music, through, you know, symbols. You can ask them for specific signs and symbols because they're trying to show you something. Okay, they're trying to tell you something. They're trying to get you to see that either, you know, the way you're doing things is not right, or how to like shift your perspective, or how they want to show you that they're with you. And so it's kind of like they feel ignored for some of you, really, honestly, truly. And it could be a certain person is getting in the way of your connection with the spiritual world as well, where you need to set some boundaries with them because they're in your space. All right, so let's see. What do we have coming towards Cancer at this time in regards to anything that we just talked about? What we have for Cancer? Seven of Swords. I think the Seven of Swords came out for you guys last time. There's like a blockage here spiritually, though, I feel. Something is blocking your connection to the spiritual world. Why is the Seven of Swords here for Cancer, please? Why is the Seven of Swords here for Cancer? Is this... Why is the Seven of Swords here for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? I feel like this is one of the weirdest readings y'all have had in a while. So there's like a new lesson for Cancers, for you Cancer placements. You have, I swear y'all got this same combo. I hate this combo, the Seven of Swords and the Page of Swords in reverse. It's very like sketchy energy, very stalkerish vibes. So, you know, you could feel like somebody is watching you or stalking you. But anyway, that's aside from the point. So again, there's something that you could have a hard time with, like really facing in regards to the connections that you have around you. And you might have that tendency again to self-sabotage or punish yourself when things do not work in your favor or when things go wrong. And, you know, they're trying to show you the lesson in that. And it could be through a very deep, intimate connection here. Why you should stop punishing yourself for either things that you cannot control, the way other people respond to you and be like, oh, you know, I always mess up. It's always my fault and da-da-da. You know, really just beating yourself to the ground in regards to this, okay? There's a new cycle that's trying to take place. And you needing to not be so much of a self-sacrificer with the Hangman in reverse, because the Hangman can be about self-sacrifice as well. And when it's in reverse, it can be about overly sacrificing yourself for other people, which is why, you know, at the end of the day, you may end up feeling very drained, feeling like you didn't get anything in return here. Eight of Swords, Knight of Wands in reverse, and feeling like you've been used. Okay, a lot of Cancers, that energy I'm feeling is like a lot of you feel very used by people, okay? And so therefore it might be hard for you to really accept real deep, intimate connections. It's hard for you to actually enjoy connections. You rather, you know, you run from them because you feel used. So it is going to take some time to build up that resistance of, you know, you don't need to always sabotage or run away from connections as you get closer to them, or, you know, take things too personally when people behavior changes, or when, you know, people are not always so happy or chipper. You know, sometimes it has less to do with you. And so the ways that you'll be able to break the cycle and not feel like you're always being drained or used, again, is to setting limits. You know, you don't need to always give people access to you 24/7. All right, and this is going to help you feel, you know, more grounded. For Wands, Nine of Cups, feel like you have more of something to celebrate here. I do see something is coming up for you to celebrate, okay? You have the Ace of Wands and the Three of Cups. If you have like other Cancer placements, you know, you could have a birthday coming up, not just Cancer Sun, obviously. But yeah, there is something that's going to be exciting for you to celebrate, but I do see potential self-sabotage. You know, break this. And you, like, for many of you out there, you may have a cycle of, again, letting your anger get carried away in your anger or your emotions, and then it's like you might beat yourself up for it afterwards. or you beat yourself up for feeling used or letting people use you in some way. All right, so what do we have for Three of Cups came out again? What do we have for Cancer's advice, please? Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, and South Node. What's the advice for Cancers in regards to this energy? The Lovers. What's the energy for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North, and South Node? Okay. Nine of Cups. So yeah, Cancers, I see like many of you guys are breaking out of a cycle of self-sabotage, of giving up things too easily. Fight for this, and you're learning how to fight for the right people, fight for the right things. And instead of taking things so personally and then, you know, self-sabotaging because people are people and people are not always going to meet your expectations, you're learning how to find that balance, okay? You're learning how to set new limits with people. Setting limits, you're learning how to enjoy people for who they are and where they're at, and, you know, not beat yourself up if you're disappointed, if you get disappointed, and knowing that it's not always personal. It's usually not personal, honestly. If somebody doesn't meet your expectations, the way people react, the way people whatever, you don't have to reject yourself even if you feel rejected by somebody else. Or, you know, your ancestors, because you have this card here again, ancestors displeased, they do want you to learn how to get into deeper, intimate connections, and not just, you know, just because you have a deep connection doesn't mean you just throw away all of your boundaries and you throw away your morals and you don't set the tone and you don't be assertive, okay? They want you to still have that same energy, all right? They want you guys to really find the lesson in these types of connections here, all right? Finding the balance and knowing like when it is time to walk away and when it's not. Eight of Cups, when you may not need to walk away, you just needed to be more firm in your boundaries, or learning the people you do need to walk away from, all right? It's a lot about discernment. And again, this is a situation where you're going to have to be very aware, because your angels are constantly trying to communicate with you. They're trying to show you the signs, the feelings, you know, they're giving you some type of truth here about yourself. It could be that you may not be wanting to admit. We have Capricorn energy here, Cancer is right here. So it shows that, you know, you don't have to avoid emotional connections altogether. It's just a matter of, you know, looking back on the past where you didn't fight for yourself enough and then you punish yourself later on, okay, where you should have set the tone early, and then you wouldn't feel like you've lost pieces of yourself because you weren't as assertive as you could have been in the beginning, and you didn't stand up for yourself, or, you know, you let your ego take over and you self-sabotage really good things based on your inability to control other people emotionally, or, you know, you didn't know how other people will receive you. So it's like this self-rejection is what cycle you're breaking out of. So overall, all that to say, your angels and your ancestors want you to stop it with the blame game belt. Stop the blame game. Stop punishing yourself or punishing other people, because again, people are people. You cannot control them emotionally. You can't, you know, you can only control yourself and what you do, how you respond to things, and everything is not always so personal as it may seem. All right, so you're learning how to break out of that and know how to have healthy connections from the jump, and set those limits from the jump, and not get swept away just because you feel a deep connection to somebody, and let that override everything else. All right, so that's what we have for Cancers, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, and South Node. Thank you so much for watching. If this reading resonated for you, let me know down in the comments down below. I am at Tarot by Bronx.